No, he's always incredibly impactful when he does take peaks. It's just he is very more reserved in it than
Yeah.
Patsy might be, and obviously it's great to see him shining because he is one of those guys that need to play big for this lineup because he's a center
You thought he
of
was
Spirit.
reserved in that game? I thought that he took a hell of a lot of
No,
risks
he
at times.
usually is
Yeah.
reserved.
And I like that.
This
I
one.
like that. You know, I like the fact that he's risking it just a little bit. There's a I guess a balance to be found. If you get that double kill, that collateral when you fly through the smoke, maybe you just don't repeat after it. You know, you've made it to the 5v3, you can take it easy. But I like that he takes that risk. I think it's required from him in that lineup.
And it's working out well, especially on Dust 2. But let's talk a little bit about the T side coming out of Spirit. And there was one round that you wanted to look at in terms of the long takes that they love so much in round 9. And the fact that for Eternal Fire, just use some util.
Yeah, that was truly a play for Spirit to take long control early on. Here you can see how Zentaris is completely blind, and what actually strikes to me is that Magic has the day of his life, just running through, no flash in his face.
Yeah, and I think it's a big problem, and it's a little bit of a detail thing. But usually when you do like a long take, you aim up close from CT wall into a sign, and you throw that flash. But you usually only use that as the first flash. I think what they did here is they made 2 flashes on the same spot.
The ones I do in faces.
Yes, exactly.
The one I do with
And
my friend.
I think that's a big issue if you want to go for that pit control like they did.
Yeah, and the problem as well is that this wasn't just one round. We
No.
picked one round to illustrate the point, but for Spirit, continuously, whenever they had these spawns, they could just take away long from Eternal Fire. And again, Eternal Fire could decide to leave it open and play catwalk position, but that's not what they did. They continuously lost men and lost firepower to these takes early on.
I wonder how much of that is like, okay, we haven't practiced our setups on this map, but you would assume they would because it's Dust 2. It's a very common map. But like on Vertigo, they had Santaras with the nade setups all the time and stuff like that. So this might be something that Eternal Fire is going to look back at and think, all right, we got to make sure that the players don't get all that liberty to run up mid. But for Spirit, what are the cliff notes here? I feel like we were quite in the dark about Spirit when